For our spring break, students from both choir and madrigals traveled across the world to the beautiful countries of Greece and Turkey to perform for 1 week. In just a week, we learned so much about the country, culture, and traveled to places we could only dream of. So I'm going to share with you what our trip was like and what we did. We left on the bus Tuesday at 10 a.m. California time, had a 2-hour bus drive to Los Angeles airport, an 11-hour flight to Paris, France, and finally after a 7-hour layover of sleeping, we had another 4-hour flight to Athens, Greece, and arrived at midnight on Thursday night. We were all very tired but excited for the next day. We got up 6 a.m. to have breakfast and then headed to the American Greek International School where we met with their school choir. We did a few warm-ups and then performed a few songs in exchange to get to hear them sing too. They were so cute! They gave us a tour of their school and we met with their dance team for some dance activities. After leaving the school, we got on a bus and drove over to an area around the Acropolis, Greece's most famous ruin. On our way, we actually saw a strike going on around us. We got to have lunch in nearby restaurants and shop before beginning our journey to the top of the mountain. The view was incredible! We loved seeing the ruins of ancient Greece. We hiked back down to take our first concert performance at the Greek Conservatory, then headed home for some sleep. We again woke up early and had a long bus ride and drove to the docks where we jumped on the cruise ship. We had no absolute plans to follow, so most people spent the free time with their friends and or exploring all the different levels of the ship. The ship did have a lot of activities to pass the time away, like karaoke, dance, and of course bingo. There was a scavenger hunt in which we met with new friends and collected items from our suitcase to dress up one of our friends in. After a relaxing day, it was off to bed with sweet dreams of what the next day had in store for us. Today we woke up on the ports of Istanbul, the beautiful capital of Turkey. When we got the ship, we were surprised on how cold it was, so we did some dancing to warm us up. We traveled to the Hagia Sophia, which now serves as a museum, but was once a famous Orthodox church. Miss Deach decided that'd be an amazing experience to sing in the beautiful place with such great acoustics, but our feet quickly ended. We also visited a beautiful mosque, explored the bazaar, and later called it a day.
When you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell.
On day 5, we planned to take a horse carriage ride around the beautiful city of Turkey, Izmir, but we later found out that horse carriage ride was not operating at the time. So instead, we took a 2-hour taxi ride to explore the beautiful city. The views were incredible. Although our taxi drivers were a bit crazy with the driving, we managed to see a lot, ranging from ruins, ancient wells, to the popular clock tower. We managed to do a little shopping and explored the wonderful items of Izmir. Later that night, we performed on the ship. It was so much fun to perform to our fellow passengers, even though the boat swayed us side to side a bit. Today we left the boat and headed again on a long drive to the country part of Greece. We visited a canal, an ancient amphitheater, and many other things. The scenery was unbelievable. We were joined by our tour guide Tanya, and she showed us how amazing the sound could be heard in the amphitheater. From 50 feet away, we could hear paper ripping. We decided to test out the amphitheater's acoustics too. And this time, we weren't kicked out. We finally reached our destination, a Greek middle school filled with kids from 6th to 9th grade. We loved them and bonded with them immediately. We got to tour their school and saw many differences between ours and theirs. There, we had the best Greek food we had ever tasted and said goodbye to our new friends, who we would later meet again. We took off again and traveled to an old tom, which now serves as a beehive. Next, we traveled to a museum, where Tanya explained many interesting facts about the past. We stopped at a lot of places, including a store where we could see how Greek pots were made current day. Finally, later that day, we performed with the Greek kids we met earlier. They were so good and they sang beautifully. And we did amazing as well. That brings us to the end of our trip. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And thank you. See you next time. Hannah Shaich, over and out.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy.